And for pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk.
Councilor Paul?
Present.
Councilor Edwards?
Present.
Councilor Janik?
Present.
Councilor Edwards?
Present.
Councilor DiMederos?
Present.
Councilor Burke?
Present.
Councilor Milburn is absent.
Consent agenda. Acknowledge receipt of minutes from boards, commissions, and committees. Zoning Revision Committee 5, Litter Control Committee 1, Open Space and Land Preservation 1, Harbor Commission 1. Acknowledge receipt of reports from Treasurer Saurette, October 2024 Budget and Revenue Reports. Acknowledge receipts of correspondent Bonnie Strickland, 17 Vitrovian Lane, letter of thanks for jackhammer noise intervention, and request code of ordinance review related to industrial noise construction activity in the residential areas. Approval of tax assessors abatements of $18,555.69. Approval of license renewals, non-advertised, December 1st, 2024 to November 30th, 2025. See attached list for tobacco, victoring, and holiday license. Would anyone like to take anything off the consent agenda?
I'd like to pull D.
Councilor Janik?
C1.
Councilor Edwards?
B1.
D1? So the same one that Jay is pulling? Oh, B.
B as in boy.
I'm
B
sorry.
as in dog.
B as in boy, yes.
I need a hearing aid this evening.
Move approval of the remainder of the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion been made in second. All those in favor? Councilor Edwards, B1.
So just wanted to give a quick shout out to the treasurer and thank her for putting the funding status of the pension on this report. And with that, I'll motion approval.
Second.
Motion been made in second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Councilor Janik, C1.
Okay, so this was a letter from Bonnie Strickman. She is the lady who was having the jackhammering in her neighborhood, and it was big rocks, and it was going on Sunday morning, at night. And Mr. Hoyle did visit, and the jackhammering did stop, and they completed that project. But she had asked that we look at the Code of Ordinance, especially because of, they had big rocks that they were jackhammering on the property, and she was asking if that was actually part of the Code of Ordinance, and I think it's just not really spelled out in there, but also that they were jackhammering every day, including Sundays and holidays, from 7 a.m. until 9 p.m., and it just seems excessive hours.
I think John eventually told them that they could not do what they were doing on the property. They had to remove the rocks. Am I right, Jay? They had to remove the rocks and they had to do it somewhere else. And I think that's how it ended up being resolved.
Does the ordinance say that? Like, will that happen again someplace else?
It may, and so we probably need to address it.
But they can't be making gravel, is what it amounts to.
And that's what they were doing. Okay.
Can we look,
We'll look
and
into
the
it.
hours too. 7 a.m. seems very early, and 9 p.m. seems very late.
Well, 7A to 9 is the regular ordinance, which I always thought 7A was kind of early to be doing things, but,
And it's 7 days a week,
yep,
so.
we ran into this with another business. All right, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion been made in second. All those in favor? And D.
Okay, so this is abatement approvals, and bring our attention to 24, 13, 14, 15, and I'd like to invite Dave Robert, the tax assessor, to explain it.
Good evening, everyone. Yes, so I'm glad you pulled this because I did want to discuss this. The total amount of the abatements on this report is $18,555. Those three abatements are for one property, which total $14,108. So the net abatements that you're actually processing tonight is 4,447 and not really the 18, because those three abatements, although we are abating those taxes, I'm going to reissue a supplemental bill under one bill instead of the three separate bills. The assumption on this property, and you know what happens when you assume that these were going to be individual condo units, they never declared the declaration, so it's actually a duplex. So I'm reissuing a bill, has one property instead of three.
Okay.
Thanks, Dave.
Any questions? Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made and second. All those in favor? Public comments, Jamie French, 4A Harbor Commission, October meeting notes.
I want to make a correction.
Jamie, as you know, you have 3 minutes, okay?
I want to make a correction to the meeting minutes. It says in the meeting minutes that I was against commercial development in the waterfront zone, and that is a misinterpretation of what I said. I did talk to Marco about this as well. I want to just clarify that I am not against commercial development on our waterfront. I am against industrial development of our waterfront. And I'm also against changing residential property that is surrounded by existing residential neighborhoods to other uses. But the Harbor Commission meeting note said that I was against commercial development. And for some reason, people seem to have a real issue with the differences of what commercial means and what industrial means. And the planning department is proposing by right industrialization on our waterfront, and I am against that. Thank you. I just wanted to clarify the notes because they had it incorrect.
Madam
Burke?
President, Jamie, we don't have the authority to change their minutes. If you want their minutes addressed, you'll have to ask the Harbor Commission to address those.
I did, and I wrote them a letter. But I still wanted it stated for the record because it is in the record. Thank you. And I
Acknowledge a resignation, Andrea Souza from North End Industrial Business Park Advisory Subcommittee, effective 11/19/2024. I'd like to entertain a motion to accept her resignation and thank her for her service.
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made in second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Housing Authority, 5-member board, 5-year term, 1 vacancy. Robin Sodoma, 19 Bayview Avenue, request appointment term 10/15/2027. Hi, Robin. Just a couple, just tell us why you want to be on this board, and not mention it's because you want to be with your husband. Go ahead.
So I've worked with the public and children and elderly for quite a number of years. I enjoy working with people. I want to be there to help them, be fair, make sure they get everything they need.
Any questions for Robin?
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we waive our policy and appoint this evening.
Second.
Motion been made in second. All those in favor? Next motion.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we appoint Robin Sodoma, 19 Bayview Avenue, to the Housing Authority for a term ending 10/15/2027.
Second.
Motion been made in second. All those in favor? Welcome aboard.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. You'll be a great addition, Robin.
Harbor Master, annual term expiring 12/31/2024. Should that be? Yeah, never mind. Tyler Loomis, 89 John Duggan Road, requests renewal of to be Harbor and Coastal Water Management Commission recommendation. Hi, Tyler.
How's it going?
You're one of my favorites, you know that. All right.
Madam President? Oh.
Tyler, I've seen you do this since you were 18, and you
Going on 10
really
years
do.
now.
Yeah. Yeah, and when they first appointed you, we gave you a chance, being so young, and you've done a fantastic job.
Thank you.
I think we all have to agree with that. And we actually got you an assistant now, right?
Yes.
So that's perfect.
Yeah.
Any
Madam
questions for
President?
Tyler?
Not a question, just, the Harbor Commission thinks highly of Tyler, and I've certainly seen some great work from you, so I appreciate that. And I don't think you imagined that you were going to have to deal with an online mooring fee system either,
finished
so
work.
thank you for that. And I'd like to make a motion to reappoint Tyler for 1 year as the harbor master.
Second.
Motion been made in second. Any further discussion?
I just would like to say that you've done such a great job, and I know Mr. Cox has written a letter, and it was a unanimous vote, but I don't know if the public knows that you've done a fabulous job over 10 years. There was a year you didn't even have a boat, and you still managed to do a fabulous job, Tyler.
Yeah,
So,
Thank you.
that is true. The harbor master didn't have a boat. All right, motion's been made in second. All those in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Public hearing, advertised discussion and possible vote, subject to meeting all legal requirements, approval of the proposed amendment to the Tiverton Code of Ordinance, Appendix A, zoning Article 16, special use permit, Section 1. This proposed ordinance will change the period that uses require special use permit shall be converted to not permitted from January 1st, 2024 to November 30th, 2024, to the period of January 1st, 2024 to December 31st, 2024. So all they're asking for is a 1-month extension.
Madam President, I believe the solicitor has an amendment to propose.
So I'm talking with the planning board and Todd Romano, the golden child of the planning department.
Our favorite lawyer.
Your favorite lawyer. Just so, this is the special use permit that we had to change, and if we don't change it by a certain date, it becomes permitted by right. The planning board is still making its way of getting some of this special criteria written. And we have a packet ready for you, but it's going to be probably for the next council meeting, for the next council. So we're asking that this be amended to February 28th, 2025. So the end date will be February 28th, 2025.
Because by the time we do the public hearings and all of that.
Correct, and then we'll have, so the goal is, and this will be on the next council agenda, the goal is to set a hearing date probably in January for all these changes. And once that's done, we should be all set, so this should give us enough time.
Okay.
So it's a line 23.
So I move that we amend the,
Yeah, I gotta open this up to the
I'm
public
sorry.
too.
Oh, yeah, yes, that is true.
So,
February 28th.
Yes.
February 28, 2025. I'd like to open this up to the public for the public hearing. Would anyone like to speak on this subject? Anyone would like to speak? Okay, I'll close the public hearing. Councilor Burke?
I move to amend the ordinance as it's before us to strike from line 23 the date of December 31, 2024, and replace it with the date of February 28th, 2025.
Second.
Any further discussion? Deb?
Can we do that where the agenda has the date different?
Yes, because
Yeah, 'cause
this is
we're
a zoning
amending it.
amendment, it's a public hearing, so yes.
Okay. I mean, I totally agree, because there's a lot of work still to be done.
You're going to be getting a packet probably by next meeting when you set
Okay.
the date, so it's pretty voluminous.
Motion's been made in second. All those in favor? Border licensing, so this is
I
a
believe
law.
we just did the amendment.
Yeah, that was just the
Oh, I'm
amendment.
sorry, go ahead.
So a motion to approve the ordinance as amended?
Second.
Motion's made in second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Thank you. All right, advertised public hearing for license renewal. This is a very lengthy list. So what I'm going to do is junkyard and second-hand dealer license as listed. Does anyone want to pull any of those off here? I'd like to open the public hearing for junkyard and secondhand dealer license. Would anyone from the public like to comment? As listed on the agenda. I'm going to close the public hearing and entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the junkyard and secondhand dealer license as listed on the agenda.
Second.
Motion been made and second. All those in favor? Liquor license renewals, Class A liquor license as listed. Would anyone like to pull any of these off? I'd like to open the public hearing for liquor license renewals as listed. I'll close the public hearing.
Madam Chair,
John?
motion to approve the Class A liquor licenses as listed.
Second.
Motion been made and second. All those in favor? Class B casino as listed as one, Bally's Tiverton Casino and Hotel. Any comments from the council? Like to open up the public hearing?
I just think we should give them a hard time since they showed up.
Yes, since you're here, you want to talk? I'll close the public hearing.
Yeah.
Entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, motion to approve the Class BC license as listed.
Second.
Second.
Motion been made in second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Class BV full liquor license as listed, there's 16. Anyone would like to pull any of these off? I'd like to open up the public hearing. I'll close the public hearing and entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, motion to approve the Class BV liquor licenses as listed.
Second.
Motion been made in second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Class BVL limited liquor license as listed. Anyone would like to pull any of these off? Any concerns? All right, I'd like to open up the public hearing. I'll close the public hearing and entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, motion to approve the Class BVL licenses as listed.
Second.
Motion been made in second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Class B, BT, Bed and Tavern is listed, which is only Brookdale, Secunda Bay.
Madam President,
Yes.
that's the most interesting tavern I think I've ever seen.
I know, Bed and Tavern. But there is a tavern, in it. There's a bar in there.
I
right?
know.
That's why it has to be put that way, because this came up before. It's a pretty rowdy tavern, I hear.
We both folks go outside.
Sorry. I'd like to open up the public hearing.
Go after the meeting.
Any further discussion? Although, I'll close the public hearing.
Madam Chair, motion to approve the Class BT licenses as listed.
Second.
Motion been made in second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? You all should be glad I'm not reading all these. Class D, unlimited club license. And would anyone like to pull anything off or discuss it? Like to open the public hearing? I'll close the public hearing and entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, motion to approve the Class D liquor licenses as listed.
Second.
Motion been made in second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Indoor shooting range renewals. I'd like to open the public hearing. I'll close the public hearing and ask for a motion.
Madam Chair, motion to approve the indoor shooting range renewals as listed.
Second.
Discussion.
Yes.
This is our annual reminder that we should not be in the business of licensing these things.
What, the rod and gun or?
The indoor shooting
Oh,
ranges.
okay.
It's represents a liability to the town, and we have oversight, and we should not be dealing with these licenses. That's the job of the ATF.
I would respectfully disagree,
Well,
but that's okay.
thank you. Motion's been made in second. All those in favor? Non-advertised public hearings for license renewals, approval of entertainment licenses. Licenses as listed is 11 establishments. Anyone like to pull anything from this? I'd like to open it up for public comment, and here, I'll close it. Entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, motion to approve the entertainment licenses is listed.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Mobile home park license renewals as listed. Would any questions from the council?
I assume we're okay with all of the challenges that came up with some of those?
You beat me to it, yeah.
I'm not quite sure what the answer to that is.
All the issues were resolved last year,
So it's
and
all-
according to this process, it's subject to meeting all legal requirements, so the building official has to sign off on them. So
Perfect.
I'm confident that if there is an issue, he'll address it.
Okay. Thank you.
I'd like to open up the public hearing. I'll close the public hearing and, and entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, motion to approve the mobile home park licenses as listed.
Second.
Motion's been made in second. All those in favor? Quarry license, there is one, Helga Brothers Sand and Gravel
You
LLC.
missed
Did you miss the?
Oh, I'm very sorry. Manufactured home elderly community license renewals. There's one, it's Country View Estates. Any questions? Hi, Rosemary.
The planning board has not had that on our agenda yet to vote on, either the quarry or the manufactured home elderly. I would hopefully ask you to,
Table it until the next meeting.
pending, yeah, I'll put pending.
Pending, you can approve pending a positive recommendation.
Okay.
I spoke to the chair on Friday, and he said, something like that.
Thank you, Rosemary. I'm going to open the public hearing. I'll close the public hearing and entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, motion to approve the manufactured home elderly community license renewal pending a positive recommendation from the planning board.
Second.
Motion been made in second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Quarry, Helga Brothers Sand and Gravel LLC. There is only one on the list. I'd like to open it up for discussion, for the public hearing. I'll close the public hearing and entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, motion to approve the quarry license pending a positive recommendation from the planning board.
Second.
Motion been made in second. Any further discussion?
I'll bring up what I do every time this comes up. Why isn't the one on Fish Road licensed?
Say that again. Why isn't it licensed?
Seems to not exist on paper anywhere.
Right. It doesn't have a license. I don't know. That's been a question.
I think there's a lot of litigation has
Yeah.
been in the past, so I don't really know the answer today, but I think it's been subject to much litigation, and I think there might be a court judgment indicating that they can operate, so. But I don't know that for a fact.
I think you're semi-right. Motion's been made in second. All those in favor? Petroleum storage license renewals as listed. Any questions, council? Like to open it up for public hearing? I'll close the public hearing and entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, motion to approve the petroleum storage licenses as listed.
Second.
Motion been made in second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Fireworks license renewals as listed. Any discussion, councilors? Like to open up the public hearing? Close the public hearing and entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, motion to approve the fireworks licenses as listed.
Second.
Motion been made in second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? I've been watching you and waiting to say it. Flea market license renewal, there's only one, Route 177 flea market. Any questions, Counselor? I'd like to open it up to for the public hearing. I'll close the public hearing and entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, motion to approve the flea market license renewal as listed.
Second.
Motion been made in second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Madam President, can I just go back?
Sure.
Petroleum license renewals, should that be for every gas station? Clerk, Madam Clerk? Should we have something from every gas station? Because there's 2 that I can see that are missing. There might be more. Tiverton Sun and whatever Three Ducks is called now. American something.
If they didn't have the paperwork in, I didn't put it on the list. So,
And when would those end? 11:30?
Do we remind them? No, we just went
we have been in contact with,
with them?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. We did that really good.
Thank you, have a nice Thanksgiving.
You too. Bye, Valleys. General business discussion and possible vote to authorize painting double lines on Hurst Lane as requested by Rep. J. Edwards at the 11/12/2024 meeting. So if you remember that public hearing, Rick, do you know, Chris was supposed to talk to you about this? I don't know if you know. Chris isn't here, so. So Rick, Hurst Lane, do you know about this? When Rep. Edwards was going door to door, talking to the constituents there, they asked that there be a double line painted down Hurst Lane because at night it's very dark and there's no division. We said we were gonna put it on general business. Chris was supposed to talk to you about this. So do you think that would be possible? That's my question.
I was here when,
Oh, okay.
when Jay was making that request. DPW certainly can do it. There's many roads in town historically that have not been striped. This is one of them, but if I'm directed to stripe it, then I will do so.
Okay.
How do we decide to stripe or not to stripe? That is the question.
Oh, he's getting witty.
Typically, we haven't striped any roads other than Progress Road since I've been here that was not striped before. It's just been what historically has not been striped, hasn't been
I think if residents request it, then it should be done.
Okay,
So I think what the motion would have to be to instruct the town administrator to ask the DPW to paint double lines on Hurst Lane.
I think one of the issues,
Recommend.
I think one of the issues is that it brings you into where there's elderly people driving, and it's very dark. I don't know if there's not sufficient street
There
lighting
isn't a lot
there.
of streetlights down there.
And so I think that they feel it's a safety issue as they're driving in and out of Country View.
basically there are 4 streetlights, it's a straightaway, it's not a narrow road. So again, that's another reason it hasn't been striped, but if the administrator said, you tell the administrator and he tells me, then we stripe it.
Okay. We have to recommend to the administrator.
And you would like a double yellow.
So what do the various lines mean?
So sometimes to save money, there's a single yellow put down, because it costs obviously twice as much to put a double yellow, but there's no difference between a solid yellow or a solid double yellow.
Okay,
So we could do a single.
No passing.
What?
no passing.
No passing means.
I
no
think,
passing on
yeah, and I
single.
think they want to, as Deb said, it's really
Doc.
to keep their eye on the road more than anything, not even worried about passing. I don't think they're worried about
No.
passing.
No, because late at night, there's very
Right.
seldom two lane traffic.
And there are what they call fog lines, the white stripes on the sides. So basically, they just mean there's parallel traffic.
So you say there's 4 streetlights?
Yes.
How far apart?
And the whole
are
road.
Streetlights?
Very far apart.
Yes, very
I
far
don't know.
apart.
This is the road that leads to Country View.
I got it.
Okay.
You said there was 4 lights on it.
Yes,
All the way down.
How far apart
I do not know.
are normally streetlights?
There's no norm in Tiverton. They range
This is true.
all over the place.
Well, I'll put it to you this way. So they're probably 400 feet apart.
They could be.
Because it's probably half a mile from the main, from the traffic circle to
I'm
Company.
gonna tell you, Nick, I've gone down that road and
It is dark.
it's not sufficient light. Well, it is very dark, let's just put it that way. It really is, but, all right.
Where I
So,
was
I have a-
going with that is maybe we need more streetlights on it.
well, let's not go there right now, because there's a lot of neighborhoods that want more streetlights.
I do have a question for the director. Do we have sufficient funds in order to paint this in whatever manner you deem fit?
Yes, we have sufficient funds to paint up to more than 4 lines, but 4 lines is all you need.
All right, just 2 would be sufficient.
All right. Madam
Go
Chair,
ahead, John.
I'd like to make a motion that we recommend to the town administrator that he instruct the DPW director to put some manner of striping on Hurst Lane as the director sees fit.
Second.
Motion been made in second. All those in favor? Thanks, Rick.
Madam President, just one comment. It is a street that is used to go to the polling location, so I think it actually would help.
Well,
that
that's
as
when
well.
I've been up and down there before, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of traffic and it's dark.
The one thing I would mention too is because of the season, it may not be done this calendar year.
Could
It'll
we,
be done this fiscal year, but not necessarily this
could
calendar.
we try to get it done this calendar?
Yes.
I understand if there's snow on the ground, you can't do it, but right now there
Well, it
is.
has to be a certain temperature,
Does
though.
it have to be a
Yes.
certain temperature too? Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. 9B, discussion possible vote to approve amended resolution 2024-0003, establishing North Tiverton, Tiverton North End and Industrial Park Subcommittee of the Tiverton Economic Development Commission to remove the requirement the chair be a council member. Any questions?
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we vote to approve the amended resolution.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? We put Recreation Chair Stu Gilfillen, who is not in the country. So I'm going to ask that we table this to the next meeting. I
We
don't,
get the resolution for casino funds.
Oh, yeah, we have this.
oh, I keep skipping one. I think there's something wrong with me. Discussion possible vote, Resolution 2024-0019, appropriate funds from the casino special revenue account as approved 11/12/2024.
Madam President, I move approval of Resolution 2024-0019 related to casino revenue and fire department.
Second.
Motion been made in second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? I already talked about D. Could we ask to table this until the next meeting?
Madam Chair, motion to continue item 9D to the 12/9 meeting.
Motion's been made in second. All those in favor?
Do we have a second?
Second.
Oh, sorry. Okay, now we do.
All those in favor? DPW Director. Discussion possible vote to award contract to United Fence Construction Corp for fence and rail work at Fort Barton Reserve with an additional $16,000 in funds approved allocated by the town council from gaming or APRA.
Yes, thank you. And if it's, oh, there he is. So Martin Van Hoff is here from Open Space Commission, and if there's any particular questions, he may also wish to answer them. So yes, the bids did come in, and it is without additional funds, all that can be done is the fence, not the rail. But if additional funds seem fit to be appropriated, then the open space, the town can do the rail and the fence. And I do not know what your desire is, whether it's opera or gaming. If it is opera, since it has to be allocated by December 31st.
No, I think we approved this at gaming, didn't we?
The 8,000.
No, he's asking for an additional
Right,
16.
right.
So the only point would be if opera funds are allocated, then they should probably be on the top of the spending list.
Yeah, they have to be
of the
obligated, yeah.
Yes, because they have to be spent, but they have to be obligated by December 31st.
I would do casino, because we're already trying
don't
to
think
Okay?
organize opera.
Let me ask you a question. If, no, you don't know if we have any. So, but if we do, we want to spend that out first. So could we have the motion to spend out opera unless there's none left, and then it becomes from casino? You, yeah.
Don't we already? Is
Yeah, the
opera-
next
That's-
agenda item's the rest of,
opera's gone.
Sorry, we can talk about this when we get to that, but I think it would be safer at this point to use the
Oh, I see
casino
what you-
revenue,
yeah.
and we'll do a resolution for that. How much do you need from that, Rick?
But the estimate is 16,155, but again, that estimate for extras is based on the same issue with the bid. The bid, like DOT bids, for instance, is a per each or per linear foot, et cetera. We don't know exactly how many we're gonna have in ledge, so it's an estimate. And the bids, so we can compare apples to apples, are each or linear footed, or linear feet. So the bids have come in at 10,000 for the fence. The low bid was, for the fence and the rail, was 35,505. The reason for the extra is because anticipated on the bad side is more ledge than what we have estimated so far, and the same thing with the actual lengths. So you're looking at around $6,100. That means there's a total of $41,605. Since there's available in open space 17,450 and previously allocated gaming 8,000, that leaves a potential shortfall of $16,155.
So Rick, if we round it up to $20,000, not to exceed 20,000, would you think that'll
That's-
cover it?
Yes.
Okay.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we,
Have to do a resolution at the next,
award the contract to United Fence Construction Corp. For fence and rail work at the Fort Barton Reserve, with an additional $20,000 allocated from the casino gaming account, and there will be a follow-on resolution at the 12/9 meeting. Not to exceed 20,000.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Town Administrator and Town Treasurer, discussion possible vote to allocate remaining APRA funds to pay for items previously obligated by resolution from the casino gaming capital account. Items C, D, and G from last meeting, and Administrator's memo. Go ahead.
members of council, as you may be aware, the Treasury Department recently came out with some new rules and regulations regarding the spending of opera funds. Every city and town that received it is obligated to obligate the funds by 12/31/2024. The rules and regulations of the Department of Treasury indicated that, gave very specific definition of what an obligation means, and they're specific in indicating that an obligation did not mean an ordinance passed by a city council or a town council. You actually needed something in hand, either a contract, a memorandum of agreement, and things of that nature. That's the only way that they can legally be obligated. It becomes critical because of the change of administrations or the expected change of administrations at the federal level. There's a concern that a lot of the unobligated money will be swept back to Congress. So cities and towns across the state are now working feverishly to obligate these funds in accordance with the new regulations. Because we had allocated a significant amount of money through the casino revenue account when we met, I think in September,
Yes.
a lot of those purchases actually have signed purchase orders, contracts and whatnot. After meeting with the treasurer and the town administrator, I think last week, it was decided that we would basically move that money that was move those purchase orders and things that we had in hand from the casino revenue account to the opera account. And that's basically what the town administrator is recommending. What that means for the casino revenue account, even though we passed a resolution saying that we're gonna spend X, Y, and Z on X and A, on A, B, and C, that money just falls back into the pot to be allocated at a later date. But this ensures that the town will be used every cent of its APRA money, and it's obligated properly. And then you'll have an opportunity to revisit casino gaming, anytime you need to, but there'll be, a significant amount of money that we're supplanting because we're moving one for the other. But we thought it was better because we had contracts and some of this stuff that we would meet the definition of obligation under the new rules. So that's what the town administrator has recommended. You'll see after this in the council packet, there are a formal obligation to use APRA funding, there's a memorandum of understanding. If these are all passed tonight, those would just be executed by the administrator, the council president, and the particular department head. And these were all drafted with my assistance with the town administrator before he left on vacation, so.
Madam Chair, or President,
Yes.
so I want to ask Mike something. So on these MOUs, you don't have a date on the top of them,
Yeah,
is that correct?
yes.
25?
Today. Oh.
2024.
Oh, 2024.
I didn't put the date on these.
Good catch.
Good catch, we can change that. We'll change it to just,
When he said yes, I was
I just
like,
want to make sure that
that's a good point, yeah. I'm sorry, I did not put the date on these.
okay,
Madam President,
yes.
Not always nice to point the finger at the guy who's not here, but, yeah.
dates have meaning.
the motion you need should include authorizing those officials on each MOU.
Yeah, technically,
to
those are
sign.
not needed, believe it or not, but yes, we should just, to bootstrap it, I would just do that, because we're gonna have it signed by the council president as well, so I would do that. But technically, the rules and regulations says the chief executive officer and a department head can sign these memorandums of agreements, and that would be binding, that's part of an obligation, so. I recommend that we just bring it to how we've been allocating this money.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the obligation as requested by the town administrator and direct the requisite parties to sign each of the MOUs as outlined with the date corrected to the correct year.
Second.
Does that suffice?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Any further discussion?
Well, I have one other question.
Go ahead.
So on the MOU 3,
Yep.
which is the street sweeper, is my recollection fuzzy, but we not authorized 333,000?
We did, but we, after speaking with Rick through the town administrator's office, he indicated that the amount was actually higher than that, and this number now reflects not only the higher cost, but I think some striping or painting or whatnot that needs to be on that machine, so that's what it is.
It seemed like a pretty big increase,
It was 333 or 335,
333.
but this number comes from Rick, and it was based on a purchase order or a.
Yeah. Well, I'd imagine we have the sales and purchase sign. It's there.
I think it was attached, yeah.
Yeah,
398, there was a quote attached.
yes. And thank you. The 333 was done a long time ago, Jay, and prices have gone up. And we've looked at the MAPC, we've looked at the Rhode Island MPA, we've looked at the Mass, basically the Mass MPA also. And we've talked to various vendors, and the one that has the piece of equipment that would be good to have, that's the price. And that, again, is on the MAPC in Massachusetts.
And you'll be able to get the purchase order before the end of the year with that, correct?
Yes,
have
basically that
to.
quote that you see, if we're allowed a little extra dough, then we would get the 330 tank, for instance, we'd have it leaded and all that. But we could, if approved, we could sign that quote tomorrow,
Okay.
email it over, and it would be obligated.
Yes,
Thank you.
that's what we're looking for.
It has to be.
And this is new?
This is new. And we did also look at refurbished, but it doesn't seem the way to go.
No, it's not
We
the
have
way
the
to
money.
go.
We don't want to do that.
We do a lot of that, and then they all break down.
Buy once, cry once.
Madam President, on the cover sheet under B, DPW sweeper, it shows 407,126, but this estimate is showing 398,5.
Right, because,
The
When-
extras, the painting and stuff.
The
well,
lettering.
yeah, but not only that, if we were allocated the money, then we would want to get the 330-gallon tank versus the 220. And that's another 5,000, plus you have lettering and things like that.
So it says not to exceed 407,126 in the.
Yeah, I just want to make sure, so that's where the extra comes in, is
Correct.
that 407, okay.
Yeah, the various things that, if it's allocated, we could spend on that machine.
Okay. so
Thank
mo-
you.
Thank you, Rick. Motion's been made in second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Discussion possible vote to amend Newport and Bristol County Convention and Visitors Bureau Representative Meredith Brower's term ending date to June 30th, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made in second. All those in favor? All right. H, discussion possible vote to appoint Chief Patrick Jones as interim town administrator with $1,000 weekly stipend effective 12/4/2024. Any discussion?
I'd like to make a motion that we appoint Chief Patrick Jones as the interim town administrator.
Second.
With the stipend?
With the stipend, yes.
Effective
And-
12/4.
Effective 12/4.
Yeah, Chris's last day is 12/3, and Patrick will take over 12/4. Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Thank you, and thank you, Patrick, for taking this on.
Thank you, Chief.
Executive session, Town Administrator, Rhode Island General Law 424655, discussion related to the acquisition of or lease of real property for public purpose wherein advanced public info would be detrimental to the interests of the public related to a conservation easement and related purchase and sale. B, Solicitor Marcello, Rhode Island General Law 4246582, David McGovern et al., V. William Bailey III et al., USDC Rhode Island 124 CV 00100 MSM LDA, litigation update. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second. Yes.
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 Now in executive session after a brief recess.